institutions and fake imitations. There's no obligations. Vibe moves, get felt relations, connect famulation. Explore my talent since I first heard Mr. Magic Grover Washington. And now I'm in the lab every day, like what's the Poppington? Feeling like my pops again till I start thinking like his son. Visions of my uncle pop in my head. We need to finish what we begun. Running up a check, mindset, residual ends and bedspreads. Bed bugs get fed the lamb's bread. When I quarterback Jimmy Plunkett on the tip of a coin flip. Front row scout ticket, fuck a guest list. I meditate with a zone of that wedding cake. Garlic cookie scent, mushroom, onion taste. When a cherry of this roller resonate. Feeling older from these body aches. Probably body this in one take and probably ain't gonna make the tape. Oh, great.
Oh, great. I just realized I forgot to share the sound again. So you guys didn't get to hear the end. Well, the audience did. So forget about you guys on this show with us. Doesn't matter if you guys didn't hear it. But we're here. We're here. Let me bring everyone in. We have our special guest today. Well, first, you already know, High Rise in the building. May Dolly Cam is joining us once again. And let me bring our guest in. High Rise, why don't you go ahead and do your introduction?
All right, man. My pleasure. Today, as you can see, y'all, we have Silong joining us. And I'm going to let him also give himself just a quick intro, but he is running for city council this year. I'll let him announce the district and everything. But, you know, I always think that Tacoma is a small enough place that hip-hop fans could actually be a voting block. Especially for, I don't think this might apply to you, but especially if somebody were to run for city council on a citywide, one of those citywide positions. You know, 2,000 people, hip hop fans voting for somebody, a former artist or something. That's a block of people. But he is also, I'm gonna let him introduce his district and stuff. But he's also an artist, a current artist. I know he is a photographer and a graphic artist. And I'll let him add any other mediums that he would like to throw in there. But before that, we are here today because he is a hip hop artist, at least for sure, a former hip hop artist. I'll let you decide if you can still consider yourself active enough to claim that. But we can talk about that later. But this is the 20th anniversary of his crew's Tacoma classic album, Language Arts. And was that your debut? Y'all's first and only official release?
Yep, that's it. That's okay.
So, you know, that was a Tacoma local album that came out, I guess it would be, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So and what he wants to do today is he wants to get hip hop nerd. He doesn't want to do too much politics. He's probably sick of talking about that already. This guy wants us to do a deep dive and give him the hip hop treatment for his hip hop album. So we're staying in that lane. This is hip hop today, but go for it, man. Talk about what you're running for real quick.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the kind intro, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, everyone. My name is Silong Chhun. I grew up here on the east side, been a Tacoma boy for my whole life. Moved away for a little bit. Now I'm back raising my kids here on the east side. You know, it's just where I was raised, and got a big love for this area. You know, it made me who I am. So I've been I'm not a very political person, but I've been working in politics for a while now. And, I think it's an opportunity for me to kind of step up and, do the city council thing. So I'm running for District 4. It represents the east side and the south end here in Tacoma. And we launched our campaign last month in January. And right now, it's cold and winter, so we're not really putting our feet to the pavement yet, which is trying to really solidify our digital presence and just getting the word out there with kind folks like you. But that's enough of that. But before any of this stuff, when I grew up, I went to Lincoln High School. I was really, hip hop culture spoke to me. Growing up, I really had a issue and problem trying to figure out who I was. Identity was a huge challenge for me, being, you know, a Cambodian refugee trying to assimilate to the American culture. I always felt like I wasn't good enough on both sides. I wasn't American enough at school. Now I wasn't Cambodian enough at home. But what hip hop spoke to me was, you know, back in the '90s, the East Coast hip hop and some of the West Coast hip hop too, really said to me the message that I grasped from all the music that came out during the '90s and the 2000s was really knowledge yourself and who you were, and trying to find out who you were. And, you know, just me pursuing hip hop and making beats really revealed to me that we don't find who we are, we create who we are. So I really learned how to, you know, hip hop taught me how to accept myself and who I am, because I could be both. I could be good at both, you know what I'm saying? I could be Cambodian and American, but hip hop, I adopted the hip hop culture because it really spoke to me. And, you know, and me and my cousins got together, we was rapping for a long time. I think this album, Second Language Arts, dropped in 2005, but if you think about it, it was like 10 years in the making, right? We was like 23, 24 when it dropped, but we've been rapping since we was 12 or 13. And, you know, one of the things back then, hip hop was super competitive. Asians weren't really rapping back then too. So that, you know, we was trying to break down those barriers too, you know. One of my favorite experiences is when we pressed our CD, Language Arts, and we would take it to Tower Records. We took it to Ocean Records too, and we were telling, hey man, we got a hip hop album. And everyone would look at us like we was crazy and just laugh. But then when we did play the album, everyone, you know, the music kind of made them take us a little bit more seriously. So yeah, man, glad to be here.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight, man. Well, what came first for you? Was it MCing or production?
Production, man. If you listen to the album, I'm probably the weakest MC on the album, man. I'm not afraid to admit that. You know, but producing, if you listen to the album, I did most of the beats on the album. I mixed and mastered it with the little equipment that we had. You know, we was poor, so we was recording on a laptop in a laundry room. That was our studio. But for me, production is my strong point. You know, audio. I went to school for audio production at the Art Institute of Seattle. That was my ultimate goal, man. Just working in the studio, recording rap songs all day. But you know, my path that I went through led to me where I am today. So I'm not even mad at it. Yeah. So production, my thing. MCing. I love MCing. I love writing. But you know, sometimes you just gotta, you know, knowledge yourself. You gotta know where your weaknesses are.
So I'm gonna just interject really quickly and say, if you was making those beats in 2005, we need a little batch for the Build and Destroy album to go.
Yeah, man.
You still get behind the boards?
I don't, man. I haven't made a beat in, like, I would say good 10 years. I don't think I made a beat since 2015, 2016. But my son does. Harlem. He's a 17-year-old kid. He just took it upon himself. He taught himself how to use Ableton, and now he's dropping mixtapes on Spotify,
nice.
Beats too, man.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. I've heard a couple. Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah.
My son and him are friends. Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But I found out through, I think you posted a few. He's been at it for a minute though.
Yeah.
Like years. Yeah, because I remember like 4 years ago you was posting him doing stuff.
Yeah, and he just kind of learned it on his own. He never came to me like, Dad, can you teach? I don't even use Ableton. I use FL Studio to make beats. So he's using a totally different software. You know what I'm saying? But I love what they got going on, though. I didn't even know Harlem's friend was Cam's son. I didn't even know it was Cam's son this whole time. He'd be over here all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, they be working on music together, clothes. You know, they got their own little clothing brand.
Yo, that means y'all ain't supervising your kids enough.
They grown, dog. My kid's 19. He got a job.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I supervise him enough that I raised him right, and I know he's out there making good decisions.
True that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Let me counter that a little bit. I think we did well enough to let them be on their own and know. You're right. They good kids, man. Michael's a good kid, man.
They found each other. That's a good sign.
Yeah. But to answer your question, man, I haven't really had an opportunity, a chance, or time to make music, but I do have the urge for it. Like sometimes I'll be just like, man, I need to make something just to fulfill that creative spark that, you know, we all have as creators. Like, you know, sometimes you just sit there like, man, I need to write something just to get it out. You know what I mean? I get that quite a bit, but I just haven't really had an opportunity to sit down and do it. Because, you know, making beats, man, you'll spend 4 or 5 hours and get nothing sometimes. So It's the luxury.
May can speak to that.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what was it like digging for samples back then to make those beats for that album? Because I know the sample choices, they sounded deliberately chosen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, digging back then was so much fun. Not like today, you just go on YouTube and search any song and it'll just pop up. And then you got the Who Sample website. But when I was making beats, I started making beats in 96, 97. I was still in high school, sophomore, junior high school. And digging was fun. My thing was I had a whole like treasure trove of Cambodian music that a lot of producers have never ever heard. So, whenever I make a beat, I always dig into the Cambodian samples first. But as you can see, the album is a mix of a whole bunch of stuff. But digging was always fun for me, man. I just loved going to Tower Records back in the day and just buying random ass records and never know what you can get, And I think the internet was just getting started too. There's a lot of websites and YouTube wasn't as big anymore. So I started digging online with Napster and trying to download shit for free too, because buying records and CDs all the time, when you're a young 20-year-old with a minimum wage job, man, sometimes you just gotta steal the music, you know what I mean? But digging was, for me, I love the challenge, man. I love the challenge of just finding new sounds and new records and putting it together. But it's definitely more fun. It wasn't accessible as it is today. Like today, my kids would just send me Spotify links like, check out this sample, it's so dope. Like, how wild is that? Now going through the same process with my kids 20 years later. I dropped an album, so.
Thank you, man. I love it.
Is he sample based or is he making everything on a computer straight up?
He could do both. He could do both, but now he's been diving in with samples. Like he's pretty sample heavy, but he does know how to make his bass lines and he programs his drums. Dude is solid, man. Solid for his age. So he's just only going to get better.
Has he given tracks to any local artists
Darnell, of course. Uncle Darnell, of course. Darnell and him was working on a few tracks, and he does have a track with Perry Porter. Perry Porter got a couple of tracks actually. I don't know if he's made his album or anything. The painter rapper. So Harlem's worked together with him, which is super dope.
Yeah, those are both good placements.
Yeah,
for sure. That's fresh. You got a studio at the crib?
Well, he has a basement. We have a basement downstairs, and he has his whole setup in his room. He has a pretty big room.
That's dope.
We do photo shoots in there. Mike will be down there. I don't know what they be doing, playing video games, recording raps, doing something.
Taking over the world, dog.
Yes, sir.
Well, shout out your crew. Tell us everyone that's in the crew, and I'd be interested. Are any of them actively in the hip hop scene in any way?
No, not anymore, man. The only one is Bruce Leroy, Darnell. You know what I'm saying? Leroy's still active. He's still doing things. I mean, he hasn't been active the past couple of years, but he's out of our group who was on the album. He's the one that really just kind of pursued and kind of blew up on his own. He kind of blossomed. And I do take pride in it. I do want to put on record that I was the first one to record Darnell. I was doing him how to count bars. Because when I first met him as a teenager,
he said, "Put it on the record."
Let's put it on record, But the dude is talented. Ever since I met him when he was like 15, 16 years old, I was just starting to make beats, and he would freestyle. He was freestyling and just kill it every time. I'm just so impressed with his skills. And I was like, "Hey, man, you ever put anything on a track and wrote a lyric?" He's like, "Nah." So that's how it all started, man. So I'm pretty proud of that. What came out of the album.
Was he at Lincoln too?
Nah, he went to Foss, I believe. He was friends with my brother's age group, my younger brother, Fano. So he was always around too. You know what I'm saying? So
he still sounds really polished on your album.
Yeah, that's just the talent.
He sounds damn near as good as he does now, really.
Yeah, that's the talent, just the talent that I saw in him. And, and if you never heard him freestyle, man, I don't think he does it anymore, but he used to kill it all the time.
Once a freestyler, always a freestyler. He still does it.
Yeah.
I just want to put it on record that I'm the one that taught Bruce Leroy how to do push-ups.
There you go.
His whole self, everything about him is thanks to y'all.
No, I'm just playing. I don't know him like that. I was just joking. You know, I ain't doing no push-ups, dog. I'm not doing no push-ups.
Because he's fitness and hip hop. That's what he is. So
yeah. And the two other guys on the second language album is my cousin Sam, and my cousin Ted. Sam and Ted are first cousins, and I'm cousins through them because we come from the same village in Cambodia, but we're distantly related. But I think Sam is a really strong MC. He just got that California flow. Dude grew up in San Diego, moved to Tacoma, and it was just all talent in him. And Ted, to me, he's my favorite writer of the group. He's a wonderful writer, just a funny clown. We like to call him the ODB of the crew. But before the second language album came out, we was actually part of a bigger group called the United Nations, right? We had a couple other guys, my boy Chuck, my boy Jack, my cousin BB, and the second language. We actually came together. We called ourselves the United Nations because we're such a big group, and a huge influence of ours, of course, Wu-Tang Clan and Killer Army. So that's just the vibe that we was going through. But during the process, as artists and musicians, you figure out really quick who's committed in writing and to doing the work and not. So the second language kind of just churned out of this larger group. So, and you can hear I forgot what track it was. There's a track with Sam, Jack the Ripper, who's part of the original group, the United Nations, that's on the track too. So we try to include everybody in, that was part of our older group in this new current album.
I think that was venomous.
Is that a Tacoma bus on the cover?
Yeah, man, Pierce Transit. We're just walking around where UWT is now, at the transit station downtown. We're just looking for photo shoots, and it was actually shot on film too by my homegirl Kim Horn. Shout out to Kim Horn for taking those photos for us for free. We're just walking around, and there's a bus driver on break. And I was like, yo, can we just do a quick photo shoot for an album cover? He's like, sure, come on. So we just took a whole bunch of photos, random photos on the bus. It was dope, man.
Oh, nice.
Hey, they worked out good. It's a nice album cover.
Yeah, we try to, we try to do it legitly, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys ever did the album ever make any random noise in Long Beach or any enclaves where that might have made its way there because of family or just yeah
absolutely, man. We were on Q93. I still have audio clips of our songs being played on Q93 when DJ Sam, I think it was not what the show was. It was every show on Sunday.
It was what was it called? It was called
Sound Sessions?
Sound Session, something like that.
Local sound session or something like that.
Yeah,
Sunday night
something like
sessions.
that. It started on there, and then it got so popular because we had all the homies call in and request it on the daily, and they put in rotation for a few months, which is dope. But to answer your question, bro, this second language, it resonated through the Cambodian American community nationwide and worldwide. The album went all the way to France, where there's a huge Cambodian diaspora too.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey. What's up, Michael? How you doing, bro?
We were just talking about you.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you, man. How you been? How's your weekend?
Good to see you.
We were just talking crap about you.
Hey, but guess what? I told Michael he should start a show with it. Didn't I tell him that last summer, Cam? Him and all his homies start that set up the camera in the garage and run with it. Now you got two. Yeah. You're telling me you got two different spaces to do it at now?
They ain't doing it.
You got two different locations.
You giving them the recipe and they ain't cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah. I'm just saying. I told Michael, yo, you got all the homies. Set up the camera when y'all is kicking it and just run it.
So
run it live or run it and then edit it and then post it. Which one?
It depends on how thoughtful they are in what they're putting on there.
They don't have any thoughts.
Yeah, so then you gonna want to edit. Then you gonna want to chop it up after. You don't want to go live like us. But
yes,
still, yeah.
No,
run that
listen.
footage, man. they're young, man. They'll have mad followers and all. I mean, it's. I only know.
I'm trying to get him to listen. The more money he makes, the comfortable my life gets. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That ain't never fact, though.
At least it better.
No, I don't. Like, it's really. It don't take too much, especially when you're young. You have parents that support you, so this is like just extra residuals that could come to you. It's just like dropping an album. These YouTube videos or streams or whatever, people rewatch those over and over, depending on what you're making. You know, my daughter does crochet videos, so there's going to be someone that looks up her video in 5 years from now to watch her show how to crochet a certain thing. And she's going to get paid 5 years from now from a video she made 2 years ago.
Yeah. That's how. Yeah, it happens that way with music too, right? There'll be a song that be out for years and years, and then somebody listens to it and it pops.
Shoot, I'm sure if y'all shit made it to France and shit, you be getting a residual check every now and then as the producer.
I wish.
Some shit gotta slide.
Speaking of that, did you have to clear that Curtis Mayfield sample?
Man, you know what? I teamed up with a record label in California, Long Beach, by the way. So, you know, we had Long Beach, and our album hit the East Coast, too. I've been lifelong friends because of this album. People sending me letters, not even fan letters, saying, hey, dog, we got your album from a homie. And, you know, because we were one of the first Asians to even drop a hip-hop album. So it really inspired and influenced, like, a whole new generation, a whole new wave of, like, Cambodian rappers, and you know, the Majestic Records that I teamed up with in Long Beach, Pratch Lee, he was the first Cambodian American to bring hip hop to Cambodia in 98, 99. So we was a pretty good powerhouse. Even though our album went wood, you know what I'm saying, we didn't sell anything. We gave it you know what I'm saying. But the impact of it was pretty deep. It resonated, and I've made lifelong friends up and down the East Coast and the West Coast because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can travel to New York, Philly, Jersey, Atlanta, just off from this album that you know I've made relationships with. So I mean, you know, even though the album went wood, I think the success came into the connections and the network that I formulated. But I didn't clear any samples. You know what I'm saying?
None of us did back then.
You want to know why?
Because I almost wanted to get caught. Like, let me get caught. Let me get some media.
Because the only way you're gonna get caught is if your shit blows up. And then
unless you're making your first $1 million, nobody's gonna come fuck with you, right?
Right.
Right. Only if you messing with their money, that's when they will care. But you know, it's on Spotify now with no clear samples. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. On YouTube and everything, and it's just fine. I wish somebody would.
Which is crazy because they flag everything.
Yeah.
You could have 3 seconds of a song and they do, that copyright.
Yeah, and not one of these songs has a copyright hit yet, anyway. So I mean, that's just what it is. Being, you know, a small ass rap group from Tacoma, Washington in 2005, you know. So we was
Silong was breakdancing in '95 in the middle of Lincoln hallways.
I was, man, breakdancing.
Him and his whole crew.
Graffiti, the ATC crew, we did breakdancing and graffiti and DJing and making.
I wasn't going to say that. I didn't want to implicate you, but
yo, man, we all did it, right? Every single one of us was our writers. Might still write, you know what I'm saying? That's just how we grew up, and that's just the culture that pulled us in because you know, self-expression was just so huge with us, and that's the only outlet we had besides gangbanging.
You about to make Josh go out tonight and do something.
He says allegedly.
Just
for a nice night walk with the dogs.
Yes, sir. Yeah, with the dogs.
In case something happens, Josh already has his cop stash prepared.
That's right. I like the stash though, man.
Oh, thank you. What's up with so was it hard not to do a follow-up music?
I think you know what happened was we dropped the album. We got a little attention. We started, doing a little West Coast tour. Our tour wasn't a real tour. We just had shows up and down from like Oregon to all the way to Canada, right? So we called it a tour, but we just had shows. Dan, what was your question? I'm over here just.
Like, why didn't you make a follow-up?
Oh yeah, the follow-up. I think we had a taste of what felt was like success. And I'm guilty of it as well. We want, we rather party than work. You know what I'm saying? We was just at the club, VIP, same lounge as the Seahawks, and every single club promoter in Seattle at the time really took a liking to us, so we had some good treatment. So we ended up just really, just being addicted to that instead of doing the work. And, once all that stuff died down, kind of grew up, man. By the time I was 05, I was what 26, 27. Then I met my wife, and we all kind of grew up. Life just happened, man. Got a couple kids and married now for 17 years, bro. 18 years, something like that. So that's what happened. But we always try to get together, and like we did a show a few years ago in Long Beach at the Long Beach Theater. A little second language show with Pratch, because Pratch was doing his thing too. We got some pretty good press on that, and that's like, right before COVID. So that's the last time we kind of just got together and did music and a performance. But nothing's off the table. When I find some time in the near future, because I always have the urge to create music. I want to rap. Technology compared to 20 years ago, I want to see how much my sound will improve, you know what I'm saying, with the new software and how great these USB mics are. I'm just so curious.
Yeah, man, you should. Speaking of that, like talking about some of your early, your connection to like writing and b-boys and what are some of your earliest like Tacoma hip hop memories? Or what would you say about the scene back then?
Yeah, man, the breaking scene was so alive and vibrant. You know what I'm saying? Because breakdancing on the east side of Tacoma was huge with us. Everybody did it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, everybody did that. I remember that. I remember remember Above the Belt at the Tacoma Mall, which is now I think Zoomies. They used to be really supportive of the b-boy scene too. I remember they used to have like breakdancing competitions at the store, and breakers, the breaking crews back then from Seattle, the Breakers of South Seattle came through. The Massive Monkeys, of course, the Circle of Fire from Seattle, and in Tacoma you had the Dance Brooms, the Daisy Tribe, and then you had our crew, the ATC, and it was just a fun, good time. It's just another way to kind of just talk shit to each other. You know what I'm saying? We would also tag and we also break dance. I remember that. Then I picked up skateboarding too. I always I always want to say that skateboarding, I think, is the fifth element of hip hop because it's street culture as well. Just back then it wasn't as integrated and together as with the hip, rappers that it is today. So I just see it as, another element of another form of expression. But hip hop growing up really just gave me comfort. It gave me an identity. It gave me a place that I felt home, everyone was speaking my language. We was rhyming, we was writing, we was breaking, you know what I'm saying? So it just really gave me a huge confidence boost in who I was, because I was pretty good at it. I wasn't good at writing. I was okay at breakdancing, you know what I'm saying? And I was pretty good at making beats. So I just felt so comfortable and just engulfed in the culture.
Could you windmill?
I did windmill. I got video.
You get helicopter too.
Windmilling somewhere. Yeah. Helicopter, high school.
Yo, back then you could go up to Seattle and go to Seattle Center, and in the little commons area that's still there, where they have like the food and shit, and like it's like a little mall or whatever the fuck it's called. Like every Friday, it might have been every Friday and Saturday, you could pull up and there would be this giant breaking circle, and it was like 50 to 100 people or more, and it was a giant breaking circle. It was like some shit out of a fucking movie.
For real.
Beautiful.
That's what turned me out.
Too. It was every weekend
turned me out. I remember going to Seattle.
Yeah.
Like I was 4 years old. So this was like 82.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking about
it
like
was way
94,
before
95,
breaking. It was before breaking. But I remember going up to Seattle, like my mom was just visiting a friend. I don't even know what area we were in, but we got out the car, we hit the corner, and there was B-boys and B-girls on the corner with music straight breaking for no particular reason that I could. It wasn't a festival, but that's I saw it there first.
But this was cool
before I had seen it on TV or anything.
Yeah. This was cool because there was nothing open. Like the building there was no food or nothing. There was no it was closed, and they kept it available for us to be in there, even though it was a bunch of knucklehead kids and 20-year-olds or whatever. So it was like coming up from Tacoma, like you're saying, you're just breaking on, or even like you're just saying right now, Rise, like they're just breaking on the corner. That's how it was. But there was an actual thing up there where you could go inside and fucking breakdance and shit. And they left it open for us. It was crazy. You
had access to bathrooms and stuff, even probably.
I don't know about that. I can't remember using the bathroom when I was in there, but there's definitely public bathrooms in there. I don't know if the doors were locked, but I would assume so if they're going to allow people in there. I was just so amazed, like, because we went up there one time and it was happening, and we're like, oh, it must be a one-off. Then we went up there like a couple weeks later and it was happening again. Then we started to go up every weekend, and it was crazy to me because they don't normally open up spots like that. We would go till like 10, 11, and then they would run us out of there. But man, it was full-ass crowds. And I remember thinking, like, why isn't there more of this?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's dope. It's such a good time. And I think that's one of the few times where everybody came together and there was like no beef. You know what I'm saying? There's so much beef back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of beefing with each other. Because I think that's just the nature of the competition of the culture back then. You know, resources wasn't as abundant as it is today. So everybody felt like they had to grab a piece of the pie and not share it. But, you know, we know better now. We was young, man. I remember going to the Piggly Wiggly on 72nd here in Portland and just trying to find cardboard so we can bring cardboard back and tape it up and do our backspins, you know what I'm saying?
There was a Piggly Wiggly on 40th in Portland and a Piggly Wiggly on 72nd in Portland.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
May, do you have any breakdancing questions?
No, I just it's making me think back to when I was going to Spanaway Lake in the early 2000s, and that's what I remember was a lot of breakdancing during my lunch, and we were rapping and ciphering while the breakdancing was happening.
Oh, so, that's dope.
Yeah, like seeing the break-in turned me out in that way too, as far as like getting active and seeking out the culture.
Yeah,
that's true. It's such a visually eye-grabbing part of the culture that it's oftentimes, if you're old enough, it's oftentimes the first thing that like spotted your attention.
Yeah, I could say I knew about breakdancing before I knew about hip hop.
Yeah,
breakdancing was in the culture and in the neighborhood before hip hop was. Like you would listen to funk, R&B, whatever, like all kinds of shit, like George Clinton or whatever. But there was other than like Rappers Delight, there was no like rap going through the neighborhood. But breakdancing, I can't remember a time when there wasn't breakdancing. I was born in '78, so it's like right there in that moment. But yeah, that's the first thing that if you want to say like the hip hop culture or whatever, that's the first thing that I remember.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that what you're saying, Cam, that breakdancing introduced me to the music too. You know, we was listening we were breaking the Africa Bambaataa, Debbie Deb with your music, all those freestyle joints too. You know what I'm saying? So we was breakdancing to Stevie B back in the day. You know, so that was an avenue for me to be exposed to, you know, what hip hop music was and what could be as well.
And to May's point, like we might not have been doing it to the level or whatever, but all the like the little ciphering or little freestyling was going on.
Yeah. Maybe
not in like a constructed way. Like you know, I'm talking to you, you talking to me, and then got this person talking over here while we're still watching. But yeah, it was all about breakdance. It was about breakdancing and telling jokes back then.
Yeah, that's when the freestyles felt like the most authentic, was when people was breaking while you was rapping, and people was beatboxing, and like the more of the elements you could have going on at the same time, like the experience felt way more like authentic.
Yeah,
like it stuck.
Yeah, what I love about that environment is just the feeling, right? The feeling
Right.
of just unity and community and just creativity as well. Just the vibe was just so positive during those moments. And I remember too being, my early 20s and 21. One of my favorite spots to hit up was Chop Suey on Sundays, the Yo Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there used to be breakdancing at the beginning, and then as the night goes on, it would just be strictly hip hop, boom bap, West Coast. It was just such a good feeling to hear, like to be in an environment where you just feel like you belong. You know what I'm saying? That's what hip hop gave me. And Chop Suey's Yo Son was just one of those epic like club
It was.
atmospheres that you had to be there to experience to really capture the energy, man. It was just so fun and creative. You felt like the culture was at its peak at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like one of the longest running nights.
Yeah.
I think before they shut it down. But yeah, that's a dope. That was a true community.
Mm-hmm.
That group of people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It started off small, then it just kind of started blowing up. We had Sonics players coming out, Seahawks players coming out. I was in the club one time with No Doubt. They were on their way up to Canada, and they stopped in, and Gwen Stefani was there with her big ass bodyguards, and the band members just chilling like the regular people. It was a crazy experience.
Oh,
That's how big it got.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's big. Well, what's up? Anybody got any other hip hop questions?
Hold on, was that May?
Anybody?
I got a specific question.
Okay.
You well, I guess it's not it is a question. You had an event at, where was it? Spot by the Tacoma Dome. The
New Frontier Lounge?
New Frontier Lounge, where I'm pretty sure you was the DJ. You had a screen in the back playing video footage, and it was like a show with hip hop mixed with Cambodian music from 70s and 80s, and like that was one of the dopest shows and events that I've been to personally. Like,
ooh,
that shit was.
Thank you.
That shit was.
Praise, bro.
That shit was fire.
So
my question is, when do we get another one? Because I'm trying to be up in there.
Yeah, that New Frontier Lounge night was kind of crazy. It was so fun. When let me tell you a little bit of background. When we was trying to organize it, the New Frontier Lounge staff, or the first person to book me for that event, didn't really think that I was going to fill anything up. So they only had one bartender. It was a brand new bartender, and at the end of the night, they ran out of cash, and it was a nice event. So I appreciate it. Another one, I don't know, man. I'm 46 years old. This event was probably like at least 6-7 years ago, and I'm just so tired.
Your victory party.
Yeah, it might have to be the victory party for the campaign.
Okay.
We might have to do that.
Well, be prepared when you become victorious. That's what we want to get. We want to have that. We want to have that mixture, because I'm telling you, man, it made me go back. Yesterday and today, I'm going back through YouTube trying to find some of the songs that you was playing. Like, of course, like you said it earlier, and I know May, that stuck in his head of the stash of Cambodian shit that you got that no one else got, and it had to include some of them videos, because I was looking and I couldn't find like the same video footage that you was showing.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to dig into the archives. It's been a minute, but I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, man, that was a dope night, man. And seeing also, as a Black American, seeing you young folks and I think it was really kind of a mixture of folks. There was some older folks there too, but it was really like. They embraced the hip hop side of the night, but then when the certain songs come on, y'all was doing the cultural dancing, and it was really, I would say, I was proud of y'all. You know.
Well, thank you. That means a lot, bro. Thank you. You just trying to uplift the culture and exposing it to new folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did that. You got me. I'm a convert to the Cambodian culture. Shout out to my homie Thomas Meese and the Meeses from Ridgewood. There's only one.
That's the homie. Thomas is the homie.
Hey, he was my friend growing up. He's the first person I ever seen put egg in the top ramen. He brought the Asian top ramen. Look, the Asian top ramen had three different packs of additives. It had one seasoned packet and like 2 sauces. Like, come on, like I'm telling you, it was fire.
If you do it right, you don't even need the whole seasoning packet. You just need about half.
But
I'll take care of it.
Look, I'm just you bringing back memories now. But that was my homie Thomas Meese, Ridgewood, first person I ever seen put the egg in the top ramen, and now it's a normal thing for Americans. Like Americans invented it. That's amazing.
Even white people do that now.
Yeah, but it's not.
Finally caught on, huh?
Hey, so I learned it. I guess that was what 90.
You said even white people do it now.
So, hey man, you make beats, man?
Yeah, I do. I use
beat for sure.
I use the stuff that's on the phone, like the little apps, all the way to the physical beat machines. I just anything that makes the
phone
beat
works. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep current and keep up with these kids, and they got these little things that look like a calculator.
That's crazy, huh?
Beats and it's nuts out here.
Damn. It's crazy. Back then, we couldn't do anything unless we had a keyboard or the ASR 10. You know what I'm saying? Fruity Loops. Who would you say your inspirations are, man? Now I'm quizzing you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Man, I'm still Jay Dilla. He recently celebrated. We celebrated Jay Dilla recently. Like I'm still glued to that era.
Everything
like
he
Q-tips.
does. Everything he does is fucking pure magic.
Man, I want to hear some of your work, man. But we used to do Jay Dilla night at the Airport Tavern, but we haven't been, we just haven't been mindful of doing it. We should bring that back up.
Yo, the Airport Tavern is getting popping again now that they got that bigger side venue too.
Yeah,
so they're really trying to.
It's an actual event space now too.
Yeah, that big. Yeah, they're trying to go.
Yeah, me and Samaj used to do Dilla nights for 3 years straight, and I don't even.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I just got old, and I'm too tired to be out there in these streets at 2 a.m., bro.
Right.
Man, we need to figure out some old people shit, man. We don't gotta cater to the young folks. Let's get the afternoon, lunchtime, brunch time shit going.
Something.
That's what it's gonna be called. It's gonna be called old people shit.
Sunday morning, like church instead of church time.
Yeah.
Old people ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. You didn't answer my question, man. My bad. I think I cut you off. Like,
influences.
Influences.
We all cut them.
Yeah,
we all cut them off.
My bad.
Yeah, for production, even MF Doom. Like, I love Doom as a lyricist, but those special herbs, like that collection. I sit within that collection because there's traditional stuff, and then there's like obscure samples. I just like finding the sounds that haven't been used yet.
Yeah, a good place to do that is just search world music, man. Like like Middle Eastern music has some crazy hits. You know what I'm saying?
That's my influence, is like just obscurity in general, trying to find and dig those gems.
Yeah, I like that, man. I gotta hear some of your stuff. Yeah, I mean, for me, Wu-Tang RZA, man, RZA was the one that really inspired me to start making beats. Because when Wu-Tang first came out, I thought they were Asians using the Chinese kung fu movies. I'm like, yo, this is hard, So really, I was like, man, I can do this. I can copy this style. So that's when I started sampling the Cambodian music because of Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his shit was like RZA was off kilter, and
raw.
Yeah, just like. The way he programmed it, it was left to center, and as soon as I heard that you could do stuff like that, like you could break rules or bend them in a sense, I was like,
as a producer, right? You try to stay within like what you think is right? And then and all of a sudden it's like, when you figure out there's no rules, it's like finding your wings.
Yeah, because you're the producer, you're the creator. You could create the rules.
Yeah. It took a while for me to figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
And I guess like learning how to speak through the sample too. Like as a rapper, you could convey the message, but a good beat maker or producer can make the beat talk too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I like that, like using the sample that works with the concept of the song.
Yeah, 100.
Like,
yeah. That's when it's beautiful, is when the beat's by itself and the beat's already talking, and then someone starts singing or rapping or both, and it complements each other, and it's like when everything's seasoned right, everything's cooked the way you like. You're like, oh shit, this is that.
Yeah, like you'll have songs that sound good or samples you come across, like, yo, I want to make a beat out of that. And then there's people that they'll sit on samples and they'll wait till the fill-in comes, and then they cook with that fill-in that the sample embodies. And then like, now you're making the magic.
I've done that. The song I made for my granddaughter was not even a beat that I think it was a YouTube beat, but I had it for years. But I knew that it was gonna, like, the feeling I got from that beat was like, oh, this is something important. And then everything happened. Everything happened, and the shit just poured out of me. And that's when music is at its best. Or even life itself, right? You could be walking down the motherfucking street with the wind's blowing and the sun's right. You're like, oh, this is a great day.
Yeah. So you got to stay grounded in this life and be able to channel. And that's why Dilla and these guys, that's why they're the greats. They're good at being good conduits and channels. Yeah. And if you're grounded and you're in a good space, you know, you could receive these clear messages, and you move with a purpose that way. Like, you're not just out there making happy accidents.
Right.
Well, hey, here's a happy accident. This is a perfect midpoint break. So long as what we normally do is the guest normally only sticks around for the first half. So our break is 10 minutes. I got 3 song playlists that I'm going to throw on. Okay. And the first song is May producing. So you can hear what he's got, and it's up to you. I'll before we go into our midpoint break, I want to give you an opportunity to say any last moments, because in case you have to drop off, family emergency. But it sounds like you want to come back so we can just continue chopping it up.
Yeah, we can continue chopping it up. But just in case I do need to bounce, I just want to say thank you all for having me. BLDNDSTRY is doing great work in the community, and I'm just looking forward to see what you guys got going on in the future. And I just appreciate being on here and chopping it up with you guys. Been a long time coming, and we're long overdue.
Yeah. All right. We'll be staying connected from here on out. That's for sure. So we're gonna go straight into it. Tack Heat joint. Throw it up. Let me make sure I put the share audio this time.
That was not the. Yeah, way to do it. Put it
so you guys can hear it.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Your outro.
I gotta head to the comedy show.
All right,
fun, man.
I'll try to pop back in. I just don't know how much I can do as far as recording or whatever.
All good. Hey man,
but I'll try to pull something off and at least get you guys in there.
Hell yeah,
real quick. All right, it'll take me about 10 minutes to get there. So I'll stay in this room.
All right,
man. Be safe.
All right, man. Drive safe though.
Let me do share the audio so you guys can hear it.
There you go.
I'm gonna share. Not that screen. We're sharing this screen.
Yo.
9-foot hoops, all they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up, homie. 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 Just throw it up.
We gotta start it over for that. Just for all that.
Many people assume that Dolly was
BLDNDSTRY show. We're at the midway point.
Let's go.
Just throw it up, homie. It's 2 on 2 with 9-foot hoops. All they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up for me. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up for me. Your life on film, your highlight reel. Shacked in the fool in your twilight years. Rewind like Nas to your time in the crib. Food on your beard, drool down your lip. Now who is your friend in the end? When you see the grim reaper in the rear view mirror creeping and you can't be in the corner on him. Keep moving forward, text the corner you're coming. I'll be there in a second, but never show up. Always third or second, but never the first. Let's combine our energy and then blow up. But you can't connect with everyone, it just don't work. Still practice dribbling and shooting drills. Skills mastered in the classroom and the field. Build from scratch, years of blood, sweat, and tears. Now tacky is here, so pass me the pill. Just throw it up. It's 2 on 2 with 9-foot hoops. All they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up. It's 2 on 2 with 9-foot hoops. All they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up for me. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up for me. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up.
All these questions, here's the answer. A-Walls, they try to slander. Rocks open, I'm out, run routes like Barry Sanders. Mind over matter, don't listen to chitter chatter. It's going down, down, babe. Better know your country grammar. Pockets got fatter, circle got smaller. Snakes get revealed with the skills of the lawnmower. Respect my travel down the corridor. Reach the room, kick my feet up, locking the door. Used to think skinny, now these big clothes worn. Now my ego smashing like the Hulk with shorts torn. When I get mad, I turn green. Niggas say they want smoke, nah, they just want weed. Cause they weak, the sack with the stems and seeds. We the chronic, DRE and D-O-double-G. Fast break, alley-oop, we can throw it up. Mayweather with the reverse, double pump, dump, get off.
It's 2 on 2 with 9-foot hoops. All they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up. It's 2 on 2 with 9-foot hoops. All they want is alley-oops. Just throw it up for me. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up for me. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up, homie. Just throw it up for me.
Yeah. One more tacky joint for your dog.
But an ex-revolutionary. So it's top of top. They brought on successful revolution. That thing in the Miles was a bit. Fancy freedom fighters, all that kind of action. What we're saying is the end. But you don't judge Castro now. You can't do it. Nobody in this room can judge whether Castro's going to be a revolutionary or not. You know what I mean? We're talking about things, you know what I mean? China, the People's Republic, and even the states in now, talking about even going on further until communistic states. That's what we're talking about. Those
Earth on fire, we ain't trying to start a riot, but a revolution and praying to the highest ain't the same as stacking up bullets and glass bottles and learning how to make cocktails, mixologists. We all stars, no astrologists, white dwarfs imploding, trying to suck us all up in. Hold your breath, save up oxygen. Whole world underwater, octopus, spark like flint rocks with pocket lint. Rage against the machine with a hotter flame. Stock trade on New York Stock Exchange. Prison labor strike, it's not a game. The common names we got deny those. And keep walking in line with a blindfold in a rat race. Grind till your mind's gone. You do you and we gon'
You better watch your circle. The ones next to you try to hurt you. Think you dinner try to serve you. Patience is a virtue. You better watch your circle. The ones next to you try to hurt you. Think you dinner try to serve you. Patience is a virtue. Look, stay to myself, stay solid. Read books, absorb that knowledge. Self-taught, never went to college. My neighborhood ain't by Mr. Rogers. Since day one, they trying to stop us. Hopping fences, ducking helicopters. Grew up playing cops and robbers. My own man grew up without my father. Don't cry now, why bother? I got sons and daughters. Teach them that honor. Respect life, not them dollars. Homie got hit with a chopper. Life is too short, is what it offers. Time to come proper. Feet kicked up in the office. You better watch your circle. The ones next to you try to hurt you. Think you dinner trying to serve you. Patience is a virtue. You better watch your circle. The ones next to you try to hurt you. Think you dinner trying to serve you. Patience is a virtue.
If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You gon' either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this. If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You gon' either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this.
Never lie, we concrete certified. Told you we selfish, you better wade in a low tide. When we ride, it's like an old school drive-by. You on the corner slipping, we hit you from the blind side. My mind gone, AWOL with my team, right or wrong. If one feels disrespect, then you know it's on. We BAD, highest grade in the dispensary. Fuck the TBD and free my niggas in the county. Still remember the okie doke, how they did Big Kinlow. Cops more crooked than scoliosis on old folks. Swerve, William Bagby the third. We got you on tape, snitching every word. But we never break a bin, all day we all in. Real talk, we land sharks, you never seen the fin. Open the scene from Jaws, a bitch trying to swim. They get snatched to the bottom of the ocean where it gets dim. For our family, you din. We get to shaking and shredding till there's nothing left of him. Build and destroy. I got an ink in my skin to prove I ride and die for my family within. Now who want what? Let me sip and get drunk. Then get on my Marvin Hagler and shatter you gups. You been target practice from jump. So AWOL catch you in the scope, you know I'm gon' dump. On you liars, fucking fish appetizers. Hilltop kitchen still twitching from the live wires. We the true soul survivors. Turn nothing into something, we the true MacGyvers. Everything is all velvet. Mayor, you know who the homie staying on your helmet. I wrote this verse off Thorough and liquor. Metaphor, I'm sick and tired of you niggas.
If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You gon' either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this. If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You gon' either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this.
Fuck with this, you can't. Disobey is your resistance to the colonial flag. He got a knee like Kaepernick, and we don't stand for that bullshit. Song is dance, hamper stand, systemic plan to exterminate the black man, woman, and child. His bloody hands on the hooves of these piggies. It's 10, 20, 50 names that they slain in every city. Fuck a police and committee. We privileged and blessed just to be alive. Cause today they shot a kid from behind like 9 times. The only reason the trigger squeeze is the fear of a black planet. Post-traumatic slave disorder automatic. Democratics made my people crack addicts, trying to keep up with the Jones in this rapid rat tracking. Wearing a mask, we bad acting. I'm ready to snap and spaz out like I'm acting. Black rage, my only release when I'm obese. On the slab, getting money's the trap. The nerves of these officials confusing with rizzles. We on our grizzly with the fair facts. We on the grizzly with the bare facts. Aqua Boogie, I never learned to swim. Yet when I hopped in the water, your boy grew some fins. Aqua Boogie, I never learned to swim. Yet when I hopped in the water, your boy grew some fins.
Health, wealth, knowledge of self, creeping at night. Our movements are stealth, where our opponents' ears around our necks like necklaces of flesh. Destroy this mess till there ain't none left. After we smash these bars and free our gods, earth, and stars, then we can have Zandy bars and Zanzibar. Words traveling far, sun, moon, and quasar. My palm trees in a jar, and that's word to my mom. Since the days of Krylon, any track that I rhyme on, I shine on. Dylon, equations and math, Yakubian skin grasp, build bridges to the past. Bad crew kicks ass. From the start, I was a shark who could spot a mark, catch a blow dart to the heart, skate off before the poison even start. Build and destroy, mind and heart, lightness and dark, lightness and dark.
This here is a building of a foundation where the pyramid is a ceiling for underground basement. Buried deep in the spirit is real powerful flamage. Aim it at the people who get paid vacations for killing niggas near not a night in jail. They get away scot-free. Damn right we mad thinking, what if they shot me? Grievances go to the local politicians. If you act like they listen, but they all against it in the end. And no, this ain't no cakewalk. We battling veterans of the oppressive system, and they don't take no days off. So we strategize and hit them in ways they can't stop. Gather local support for all your issues, but sometimes you get that mission, you can't even take your phone with you. The Stingray will capture you and your grandma's data instantly. Disable your Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. It's still a mystery, the distance it reaches when it's ran. Hilltop bad put low-income housing in the hilltop sub-area, played by force of nature. Of course they hate us, they want chips like Vegas. We fight for freedom and liberation. True revolution starts with new ideas put into action. Celebrate and crack a smile after the whole castle's ours. Distribute resources equally. Keep a garden in the gap to protect the leafy greens. Attack the beast, then relax with ceremonial feasts and gatherings at least biannually. If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You gon' either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this.
What up, High Rise? You know my cousin Seaside, right?
That's the OG.
Yeah. He about to come through and freestyle right now. Drop him on them south side.
Walk up by faith, not by that fucking sight. Motherfucker, stay on that grind all night. You can't just see, I can't see a damn thing. Motherfucker, all I do at night, how to get that fucking change. When it gets on that motherfucking real shit. Don't you know this is Southside neighborhood crib. And I feel this and I'm on that. All good to a God, nigga, give me much dap. I ain't trying to hate, ain't got time for that. It's not in my DNA, you can trust that. Fuck around, motherfuckers, and I'm due with that. Guaranteed, motherfucker, gotta do is chase a scratch. Yeah, I'm getting rid of motherfuckers that committed. OGs now, I'm a witness when you can't see. Nigga walking by the DJ, motherfuckers all thing. Nigga checks me these days. Nigga, oh baby, blow it up. Catch me on the motherfucking street, please see it straight. True it up, fuck around. Niggas ain't trying to hate, pepper chase, hating on a nigga like me better in the race. I'ma do me, nigga, ain't no fucking changing. Fuck around, motherfuckers, ain't no rearranging. When you wanna get down to the real shit, pop your collar, nigga, walk to this shit.
If you ain't a predator, you a prey then. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. You're gonna either be a shark or a fucking fish. Real shit. Can't nobody fuck with this. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We back in the building. Build and destroy. Let me just say, I need everyone to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the share button. We appreciate everyone so far tuning in. We have our special guest today, Silong Chhun, currently running for District 4 of Tacoma City Council, and he is a real deal hip-hop person, like in real life, like all of the elements covered, and he even added in skateboarding as a new element. So we are back. Where was we at in the before we went to intermission?
And I don't even know.
That's okay. Well, what I want to, I know we, wanted to stay kind of primarily focused on the hip hop angle, but us Build and Destroy as a hip hop group actually starts as a activist organization first. So before we had any music as a unit, we were doing things in the community, even before Build and Destroy, under the umbrella of the Zulu Nation. So I would say my question for you at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put my face over Riceberg's profile since he's not back. What can we do to help with your campaign?
Man, that's a great question, and thanks for extending the offer to help. I think the best thing you can do really is to just keep spreading the good word. Word of mouth is powerful. Having the advocacy and support of community members, especially Build and Destroy, who's been activists way before, since forever. Just having the support of you all, it's I think that carries a lot of weight. And I remember, Wicked, you ran for city council a while back too, right? For
sure.
Three Hilltop. I was paying attention to that race.
Yes.
And I just wanted to touch base on since we're both hip hop group, second language and whatnot, but hip hop really is a culture that we, for me anyways, I've adopted myself into it, and I feel like hip hop and politics and the intersection of these two things aren't mutually exclusive, right? If you look at hip hop back in the early 90s and even go further than that, the consciousness and the backpack rap and, you know, being socially woke, that was already in place, set in motion. So I would like to talk a little bit about you being from a hip hop background and stepping into the arena to serve in a public space as a city council member. What inspired you to run when you ran?
It was the activists around. You know, we as we broke out of the Zulu Nation and formed the Build and Destroy, we started doing our own stuff. We would meet at Riceburg spot and plot and plan and things like that. But we would work with other groups. So it was more not just internally, but also other groups and other people, you know, kind of putting it in my ear. Hey, you would be a good person. You know, you're from the community. You know, you can articulate when the time is right. Sometimes, you know, I can get fumbled up, but when the cameras are on and it's about the community and serious issues that I care about, you know, I can get up there and really hold my own against folks that, you know, I can't really speak to their motivations, but what I can speak to is what I would like to see. I have been here. I've been through errors and seen the negative impacts of political decisions, you know. And
yeah, word.
So I think the biggest thing for me is having that balance of you know, some folks would say the code switching. I would say you have to have the balance, though. You know, when I don't think I would have got anywhere the number of support votes and support that I got if I was just straight on some corporate language, which I could do, but it wouldn't be authentic. What's authentic to me is I can speak to the realness, but also have some bit of corporate language, you know, connected or molded in to where I can speak to folks that aren't from the hood and aren't from the ghetto, and they don't really understand. It's like, I guess the best example, if we were to use the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, anyone that has any affiliation with hip hop at all, most of them appreciated and liked the show. People that don't listen to hip hop, they was like, why is this the halftime show? You know? So I think it's how, when it comes to politics, especially being a hip hop artist, and coming from that realm, it is a benefit to you, but how do you yield it? You know, and for me, it was how, you know, just trying to bridge and merge them both, rather than be super rapper, talk shit person, or super political person and corporate speak. You can do one of those, but those are extremes. I consider myself a moderate as far as a candidate, moderating the two dichotomies. But some folks consider my policies extreme, because, you know, that's the second thing, is when you're coming from the hip hop, folks sometimes look at you as if you're not really a political figure and you don't understand what needs to happen. But we you know, I'm backed by crews. I'm backed by not only my crew, but there's other independent organizations that we consult with and we work with and give us information, whether it's about the homeless crisis going down, or, you know, at that time, the $15 minimum wage was big. We were on top of that shit.
Right.
You know,
I remember that.
And so there's different organizations that were involved, you know, when they see me at all these different meetings, you know, again, I guess your base question was, hip hop. What would I give you advice for? Is just blending your hip hop realness with. You're also representing people that don't have an understanding of hardship. There's people in District 4, although that's the closest district similar to District 3 where I'm from, Hilltop. There's people in District 3 that aren't Hilltop. Hilltop is a small section of District 3.
Right.
There's other folks within that district that do not live the reality that you live, and you have to reach them.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's fantastic advice. You know what I'm saying? Because we tend to be not stuck in our own little bubble, but be so comfortable in our own little bubble. And like you said, District 3 is so much bigger than Hilltop, and District 4 too. District 4 is the east side and the south end, right? And not everybody on the District 4 lives in Salishan or came out from poverty or from being poor, right? They're all the way out, a little bit further towards the freeway. But yeah, I think that's great advice. Being able to not, like you said, code switch, but being professional enough, but authentic, and still keep your authenticity coming from a hip hop background. And hip hop is a huge platform today than it was when you ran. I think I don't know if it's around anymore, but even at the federal level, there was a hip hop caucus that was made up of elected officials who have hip hop backgrounds and is part of the culture. So I see a bridge between politics and hip hop as a policy advisor because of the cultural background that the hip hop culture kind of amplifies, right? Being hip hop was a culture of poverty, making something out of nothing. So a lot of these folks who grew up that same way and was able to capture the hip hop culture, I think has a lot to say, a lot of great perspective and background to shape policy. So that's, so when I saw that you ran a few years ago with it, that inspired me too. I'm like, yo, if he can do it, he get his name on the ballot. Why can't somebody like me? You know what I'm saying? So thank you, man. Thank you for stepping up, and thank you for just taking the hard road and stepping up for your community. Because running for any seat, whether you're going for a city council to represent a district or any public service, is not an easy thing to do, because putting yourself in the public eye, you're inviting scrutiny, criticism, and unwarranted trolls. So I think what you did was really commendable, and it inspired me years later to run today. So thank you for that.
Hey man, ultimately it's more I guess we're running now. We're moving forward. We have momentum, and
Set a timer for 10 minutes.
we just got to use the momentum that we have to keep moving forward. So, look, who is that with the mad feedback right now? It's not me.
It might be mine.
That's all right. Well, what do you have to input, May? Because I would say, as a person that had to kind of help, maybe a bit sometimes from a distance, but as someone that was definitely always there and down and contributing and a part, whether it was from the actual political side of things, but as we moved into the music, I mean, you actually started off the music side of things from your contribution. So I guess what would you say from the aspect of assisting or contributing to political side of things from an artistic perspective?
Basically it's like a fork. There's a prong approach to it, and I contribute in the ways that I can. Like, I'm bringing my prong to it, and I believe in basically using hip hop to tell the street news. And like, that's the way that people are educated on what's happening. It's the newspaper for the streets. So whatever's happening in the streets, be it political, whatever, you can convey that message and kind of be a hood reporter and providing the backdrop to those reports is integral, because the sounds, again, like the music has a sound to it. If you go Public Enemy route, that production was as important as the lyrics was on the beat. So it's like you could protest musically as well.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, Raj, we're just talking about the connection between hip hop and politics, and how politics play, and how impactful, like you mentioned at the beginning of this podcast about there's like a hip hop base in Tacoma that votes.
The hip hop block.
Yeah,
you could do it.
Yeah, you wanna give us your thoughts on that a little bit? Because what you do is political too, Raj. You know what I'm saying? You're an activist, you're in the community, and you're using hip hop and your music as a vehicle to carry that message.
Yeah, I mean, at least us that have actually worked on campaigns and looked at margins and looked at how many people are actually voting, and then that a couple of thousand votes could be a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just math in the sense of that. If you thought, well, man, would 2,000 people in Tacoma go somewhere, or would 4,000 hip hop fans go somewhere of voting age? I mean, probably, if you could get the right venue and the right event, and you could theoretically it could translate to somebody running in a space where people all over the city could vote, like at an at-large position, or even mayor, maybe later on once we figured it out, cracked the code or whatever. But I think like secondly or larger that, hip hop in politics, it can, like, the superficial version of it is using hip hop to do politics, which is, cheesy to me. But, when your hip hop is political and you're motivated to do things politically, and you are a hip hop person, and that pushes you into public office, then that's truly hip hop in politics to me. It's not about 100%. It's not about like writing some corny rap so young people will vote for something.
Right.
I don't even like that, because it's just cheap and whack, But
and you're appropriating a whole culture to further, your stupid political agenda, which is not authentic, right? You're using it. You're not part of the culture. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, but when you are being political through hip hop your whole life, and then the hip hop is just, then it makes more sense. It's like you're saying, it's authentic. It's the hip hop is, in that case, like a back seat to the politics, right. Which I think probably is like how it's usually done. Like, because there is hip hop people on councils in other cities, I know.
Sure. Yeah.
Like one of the Lords of the Underground guys is on the Jersey Council or something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's just, if it's who you are, it's who you are, right? It's not, there's no corny, like you said, no corny rap song trying to get people to vote.
So in that way, do you consider yourself like a hip hop artist currently?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of what you are right now.
Currently, I would say I'm a hip hop artist per se, but I would say I'm part of the hip hop culture.
You're hip hop, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hip hop. It's just the way I live my life. You know, it's the way I dress.
I agree.
You know, it's just the way I move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like Wicked was saying earlier, how you're able to move in different type of situations in different rooms. While I'm not like potentially code switching, but if you see when I was working at the governor's office, I still wore my beanie. You know, I still had authenticity to my hip hop roots and culture, the way I style my suits, the way I dress,
Right.
like I would wear sneakers and things like that. That's just because of who I am. I'm not trying to be hip hop. This is just who I am, you know what I'm saying? So that just kind of carries into my politics, my personality, and who it is. So that's where the authenticity comes from, if you want to put it that way.
I agree with that. I always you still signify
right
as a current member of hip hop, even in those highest of offices. You know, you're not just wearing like a regular suit, but maybe you have Jordans on. You know, it's really about everything that you're everything from the hat to the glasses to like your trim to everything. So
so I'm representing like all the time, you know?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's dope. And how does that feel in those highest of offices? You're obviously cognizant of it. Are you ever anxious about it, or?
Nah, I thought I would be.
Feel like you're being like like they might view you as like juvenile or something like that?
I'm so comfortable with who I am that I've never felt like that. I've never felt intimidated by any leaders in the rooms. You know, I've been roomed with the highest prime minister or premier of BC Canada to the premier from South Korea, and I've met like the governor from one of the provinces in Ukraine. You know, I'm always myself. I'm always who I am. You know, and one of my favorite pins to wear in these situations, I always have a Wu-Tang Clan pin. It just starts a conversation where people don't have an idea who Wu-Tang Clan is. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, and I don't ever feel like small around that. I feel proud, actually, proud to be able to represent not just me as an Asian American Cambodian, but hip hop culture as well. You know, I got Governor Inslee asking me, because I'll be wearing a shirt that says Shaolin on it. Like she's like, "What's Shaolin?" I'm like, "Man, that's I can't answer that question in like one sentence. First, I got to talk about Wu-Tang Clan. Then I got to talk about Staten Island. Then I got to talk about the karate movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Well, Shaolin." And I was like, "Well, the Wu-Tang Clan, the rap group, he's like, never mind."
For real. That's the whole lesson. You got, don't ask if you're not really ready to receive.
Yeah, you're not ready to receive. So yeah, but I'm really comfortable, man. And it just makes me proud that I'm able to move in those types of situations and the way I do. It just represent everybody, you know what I'm saying? From where I grew up in hood, I'm so proud to tell people I'm from Tacoma, no matter where I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think one of the things I was going to ask you. Well, I know you always shout out Salishan in the East, and one thing that I noticed about, I was thinking about how does that album we were talking about translate? And like on a higher level than just sonically, because I mean everything at a certain point of time sounds of a different time. But the sort of like things you were visiting, like the attention that you were bringing to like the immigrant issues, and like you were saying earlier, being a part of like two communities and also outside of them both at the same time, like a push and a pull, and all like those juxtapositions, and I know you're super knowledgeable on those issues now, and you've been going hard on that right off the bat for your campaign. I mean, even before that with your art, and if you want to talk about some of the stuff even that you did with I don't want to say it wrong, but you probably know what I'm talking about, the
the
Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, like the clothes. Yeah. And but like so that you know a lot about like the current state of affairs with like the immigrant communities and the issues and how you were on it, you know, back then and now you're running on it and just you could just, you know, you could just talk about that too.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you brought that up because to me, if you listen to the album, it's kind of a snapshot in a moment in time of my life and my cousin's life and Bruce Leroy's life at that time. If you listen to some of the songs like Corona Nights, we're just talking about drinking Corona, that what we did, and the making of you is really like an ode to Tacoma and what we used to do back in the day. We're just trying to kick it. And then we got New Day Tomorrow where we talk about our parents and the Khmer Rouge. So the album really it's just a funny snapshot of who we were and what we were doing back in the day and just our personality and to connect it back to your question and comment about, you know, me working, just always been in community advocating for immigrants' rights and protections. And in that regard, it's just everything I do is a part of me, right? Everything I put out, every art that I do. And part of me is really just trying to represent, you know, my community, the Cambodian community, the Southeast Asian refugees that grew up in this area, and just amplifying our voices because, you know, during the Khmer Rouge, a little bit of background during the Khmer Rouge is a communist regime that took over Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. And during that time, they murdered over about 2 million Cambodians, right? So it's a genocide in a sense. But what's unique about this genocide, it was perpetrated by Cambodians on Cambodians. So to come out of that, and, you know, the way I was raised in a Cambodian household, we was taught to always respect our authority because, you know, staying silent during the time of the Khmer Rouge was the only way to really survive. You act like you have to act like you didn't know anything. If you were a teacher, they would kill you. If you were an artist, they would kill you. If you were an intellectual, worked at a university, they would kill you. You know, I mean, you can draw a little bit of parallels of what's happening today with this United States government, with the recent EO of, you know, eliminating the Department of Education. So anyway, the Khmer Rouge really flexed their authority, and my parents learned that silence was survival. And then, you know, after coming and immigrating over here as refugees, once I became a citizen, I felt emboldened to speak up a little bit, speak up for the folks that wouldn't normally be able to speak up because of their fear of being targeted by ICE or getting deported. So everything I do, every single art piece I work on, every beat I make, every statement I make, and everything that I've done so far has led me up to this day. And my mission is still the same. It's really to give a voice to the most vulnerable and support those that aren't able to speak up for themselves. And I'm willing to, you know, lay my life on the line to do that. And I see, you know, I've been doing this anti-deportation work for the past 10 years, but our community has been doing it for 2 decades. You know, Cambodians have been getting deported since the early 2000s. So we're experienced with, you know, we got folks part of our group that have been through the process, have, you know, served time, got a pardon, and now, you know, got their citizenship. So anything that I do, that I express or that I advocate for is just an extension of who I am. And who I am is all those things, right? Hip hop, skateboarding, immigrant communities, just trying to advocate for, you know, higher minimum wage. Just, you know, I just want to help people. I just want to help people thrive and survive and give people the opportunities that this community gave me.
Hell yeah.
Hey, well, I think this is a good moment to end it at. Hey, we have a great engagement with you at this point, so we have to have you back. This can't be a one-off.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about you letting us know what we can assist with the campaign.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, I'm sure from the hands that we can pull to the deck, we can help, get you where you need to be, and that's in that position. That'll put you with, Jamaica. Kiara is still there, I believe. I think she might. Is she up? She's running against someone.
Kiara?
Yeah, or she good?
She's not running again. She's not retaining her seat.
Okay, so her seat's open.
Her seat's open. Yeah, that's the most crowded one right now, besides the mayor's seat. I think there's 4 people going for position 6.
That's not bad. Shit.
Yeah.
I went up.
Mayor's got 4
against like 7 people, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted that District 3 at that certain point. I was going up against.
What year was that? That was like in 16, wasn't it?
I want to say
something like
I want to say 2014, but it was Keith Blocker is the one who won it. It was Keith Blocker. It was
that was for his first term.
Yeah. It was an open seat. It was Lauren Walker vacating her seat, so it became an open seat, and there was there was mad people that was going up for that. It was at least 5 or 6 other people that I was going against.
Yeah. Wow, that was a crowded race.
Now, and the way that the election rules work is the top 2 from that first primary gets to the general. So I actually came in 4th, but I think I was only a couple hundred behind third. That was Justin Layton. He was third. It was Justin Layton, Tom McCarthy. So that's who won the primary to go against Keith Blocker, and Keith Blocker ultimately won because no one liked Tom. He just wasn't. He just wasn't a likable character. Like whether you're seeing him on an advertisement or you see him in person, like he's just not likable.
Thank you for running though, man. Even though you 4th is great, man. It's just so hard. It's just so hard to convince people because people are tribal, man. They're tribal. They kind of stick to what they know and just afraid of change. And so we'll see how this one goes for me.
Well, we got, like I said, from that campaign, we got experience. We know how to knock on doors, sure. And now actually it's a little bit different. So we have to flex. I would say flexing the online presence and how to do the proper promotions in that aspect, because it's hard to. People don't open their door like they used to. Like when you just roll up and knock on someone's door, it ain't the same.
They look at the Ring camera and just ignore you.
Yeah, but yeah, there's other strategies to meet people in person from the events. Yeah. I mean, that's where you got to get your that family and friends fundraising round, put that to work for you to get into
we all got that
events.
Planned out.
Taste of Tacomas or whatever things like that. You got to have a booth at every one of those joints.
Yeah. No, that's good advice. And right now, like you said, we're just trying to establish our digital presence. I think we're doing pretty good on that front. And then when it gets a little warmer, it's come around May, summertime. That's when we're going to start hitting the streets. But thank you for your support, man. Just keep spreading the good word. Just let everybody know. You know what I'm saying? That's the word of mouth is powerful. Holds a lot of weight, especially from y'all.
All right, man. Well, let us know when you got any upcoming new campaign updates.
Send us your flyers because Wicked can play them while we're playing the music at the beginning and the intermission. Okay. Send us your flyers. Yeah. You can even send me your links to where people can donate, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be afraid to hit. Let people know real quick. That's what you need right now. That is really what it comes down to.
No, that's what it comes down to.
Costs money.
Everything costs money. So
really be about it. Just hit them up. Even a little 5 on it helps.
Yeah, man.
It really does.
5, 10, 15. It doesn't have to be
because they look at number. They look at number of donations for momentum too. So it really does. It really does make a difference. It's a really important pat on the back.
Yeah, it will do, man. Let me link you to my website, campaign website. You can just copy and paste it. It's just Silong for City Council.
Oh, I got you.
I got all that stuff on there.
I got you.
Wicked got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look, let me. I'm gonna bring you over right now. I'm gonna put you solo screen share one. There we go.
And anytime you want to talk hip hop, you could just come on for that any Friday. Because shoot, I still have more hip hop questions too. So
yeah, let's do it, man. We talk about that all day.
Okay,
that's my safe space. That's where I'm comfortable.
Cool, man.
All right, well, we're going to end it here. Thank you so much for our guest, Silong. We're going to go ahead and leave y'all with one last joint. Yeah, we're going to go with AWOL again. Yeah.
There you go.
Shout out AWOL. All right, y'all, I'm out. I'm signing off. Much love.
Yeah, I'm signing off too, man. Peace. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, love you guys.
Love you. Love.
What do you think you're most known for? Your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth. My big mouth. I got a big mouth. Can't help it. I'm talking from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, comes. But my controversy around it, it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. You know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learned, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think my mouth is controversy. I have not been out of the paper since I joined Digital Underground. I've been in all, you know what I'm saying? It's never, my name is not uttered, you know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I don't want to be forgotten.
Ain't nobody worked harder, stayed busy. The one who walked out the courtroom like Sherman Hemsley. The one 5 shots made him hard to kill. Penitentiary still before the death row deal. The one that said keep your head up and don't cry. The one that said hit him up when we ride. The one who proudly threw up the west side. The one a lot of people still can't believe he died. Black Panther in his bloodline. Book smart mixed with street nigga, this is thug life. The one when he spit it gave it to you raw. The rose that grew from the concrete outlaw. Only God could judge me tatted on his body. America's most wanted, ain't nothing but a gangster party. The one police hated, then he hated back. The one that said strictly for my niggas, then he grabbed the strap. I ain't mad at you, we straight ballin'. Dear mama, heaven for a G, I hear him calling. I get around all about you, same song. How do you want it all night long? Me against the world, loyal to the game. Soldier story, trap, pain. You can't see me, ambitions of a rider. Against all odds, if you hear me, holler. Superstar shining right above the rim. Juice, poetic justice, man, we loved him. Gang-related gridlock, bullet, should I go on? Might be gone in the physical, he lives on. The one that told us he shed so many tears. The one that said life goes on after all these years. How long will they mourn me? Forever, cause you're the one and only. The one that want to live and die in LA. But Vegas where he spent his last 7 days. Now he posted in a thug's mansion. And to the end of time, forever mansion. He asking, are you still down? Hail Mary, what do we have here now? What more can I say? The man is legendary. R.I.P. the GOAT, Tupac, Machiavelli. All eyes on me, bury me a G. Trader war stories just like daddy. Made niggas, got my mind made up. Pour out some liquor, lost souls, tossed it up. Still I rise if my homies call. Heavy in the game, ball. Under pressure, does heaven gotta get up? Do for love, Pac's life, let's go.
How did we get from Grandmaster Flash, the message, to where we are now in hip hop?
Again, you have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in it. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is gonna change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after years, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know. Now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do? And we shouldn't be angry. And my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because there's no one else talking about it.
There's no one else talking about it. Yes, the Build and Destroy. We have made it to the ending of today's show. Thank you, everyone that stuck with us, liked and subscribed. Pressure Rise in the chat. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share it with your homies. We'll be back next Sunday. Every Sunday we go live around 5. It'd be a little bit after 5 because I'll be running late. But